You're listening to Hawk Talk with former Seahawks wide receiver Michael Bumpus. Powered by Seahawks.com. Now, here's your host, Nasser Kyobe.
Welcome to another edition of Hawk Talk. The Seahawks take down the 49ers 13-3. Bump. We've talked about it all year. We knew this was a special team. We've honestly been speaking this into existence all season long. We knew how special this team could be. It finally happened. Seahawks, they win the West. They get the first round bye. Number 1 overall seed. Man, it feels good, baby.
It feels good, man. You get to relax this weekend. You know, watch the competition, see how things unfold, man. Something that hasn't been done in a while, man. It's their 4th number 1 seed in 05, 2013, 2014, number 1 seed. Guess what they did those years? Went to the Super Bowl. So, hey, we're not getting ahead of ourselves, but in the driver's seat, it feels good. You take down the Niners at their house, beat them up. It was fun to watch.
It doesn't get better than this as a Seahawks fan. You know, they always say, who's got it better than us? Yeah. Nobody. Well, the Seahawks this week. And it's going to feel good because we can talk like this, Bump. We can still be in celebration mode. The people in this locker room are going to get back to work this week and be ready to go for whoever they play in the divisional round. But we're going to recap it because this team is playing good ball. 20-5 in the last 25 games, first in the NFL. Single season franchise record, 14 wins. Franchise record, 8 road wins. Hawks have not allowed a 100-yard rusher in 26 consecutive games. It's coming up, all Seahawks. Let's get into it. What had happened?
See, what had happened was
on Hawk Talk.
I'm telling you, Bump, you touched on it. It might have been a 10-point win, but I'm telling you, that was one of the most dominant performances I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, the Seahawks have blown some people out this year for sure, but this felt different. To physically do it to a team like the 49ers, like you said, in their building, they had scored 37, 48, 42, and then they were held to 3 points. I know they're missing Trent Williams. I know they're missing a couple guys. But other than that, we're missing our left tackle.
Yeah.
3 points. You still have Christian McCaffrey. I don't care if he's banged up or not. To do that to that team, and it's the way it happened. You caught a pass, you went down. You went backwards. It was like you punished. You paid for it. Anytime you touched the rock, you paid for it. This defense was physical.
It was, like you said, they weren't falling forward. It was stalemate. All right, you gained 2 yards, you just got 2. You're not breaking tackles, you're not falling forward. But the Hawks, they came out aggressive. We went 12 plays, 66 yards in the first drive. It was 1st and goal from the 1, and they decided to throw the football, right? And I liked the play call. I'm not mad at it at all. Right. But you just didn't execute. Now, those are some of the plays where you look back and say, this could have been an even bigger margin, but it's all good. So they end up going for it on 4th down. They don't get it, but I like the message that is sent. Like, look, we come in the house and we ain't scared, all right? 4 down territory. We want to put up points. I was okay with the decision there.
No question about it. And I think Mike McDonald said in his radio show this morning that he wasn't even thinking about sending a message. He's confident in what they're doing.
Yeah.
But that even speaks deeper to what this team is. They all feel that way. Whether it's Kubiak, McDonald, the entire team, they're confident. They didn't get any points, but they still took off a lot of time off the clock, and it was a physical drive. On the next drive, the Seahawks defense comes out, boom, 3 and out immediately. 3 plays later, Zach Charbonnet is in the end zone, 27-yard touchdown. That made the score 7-0. We'll break that play down a little bit later. The Hawks would force another 3 and out on the following drive, and back on offense, the Hawks would put together another drive going 10 plays, 53 yards, but Jason Myers unfortunately would miss the 47-yard field goal.
The Niners would turn the ball over on downs the next possession after a great play by Reek Willing. Almost went to the house with that one. Almost. And he was playing the ball, too. I like that play because he played ball and went through the man at the same time. And big ups to Reek because the last time they played the Niners, people were talking about my dude, so good for him. The Niners will also answer with their best drive of the game. They go 9 plays. The Hawks would answer with a field goal, and they go up 10-0. So then the 49ers would answer with their best drive of the game. They go 9 plays, 30 yards, kick the field goal of their own. That made the score 10-3 at halftime. The Seahawks were dominating everywhere except the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's one of those where we've had a number of those halftimes this year where you felt like, wow, the Seahawks should be up by a lot more than that. But this game, it's not like it was sloppy. It was just a division, physical game with everything on the line. But again, you still felt very confident about where the Seahawks were at. Third quarter was all defense. Teams would combine for 3 punts. The Niners punted twice. Seahawks punted once. But on the first drive of the fourth quarter, the Seahawks went 11 plays, 55 yards, having to settle for another field goal. That made the score 13-3, and that drive was saved by a 19-yard gain by Ken Walker on 3rd and 17 bump. The Seahawks have had 4 design runs in 3rd or 15 or more. I think I saw this today. I'm blanking on where I saw it, but it's all over the internet. And they've converted 4 times. Crazy. They're the only team in the NFL to do that. I mean, shoot, even when I think it was the Rams game, you could feel the fans start to boo before Ken got the yardage. Yep. And you sent our group chat that play. What'd you like about it?
One, the design, right? You got Cooper Kupp who blocks down, Abe Lucas wraps around. You got Abe Lucas leading the way. Right? Deuce is going to get out the way. But you look at the receivers, man. You have Bobo on a body, JSN on a body. You get that first down, you break a tackle. But what I love most about it was the emotion after that. Like, you tell they want this. Like, they are an enthusiastic team. You got to be enthusiastic playing this game. It really gave me chills. That's why I clipped it and sent it to y'all. I'm like, I was getting hyped just watching how hyped they were. You can tell, man, they really loved it. So the Niners were trying to get back in the game with their best drive of the game. They go 7 plays, 64 yards, but Brock Purdy was intercepted by Drake Thomas on the 3-yard line. It was tipped at the line of scrimmage by Boye, then went to Christian McCaffrey. He couldn't handle it, and Drake got a late Christmas gift.
Oh, love it. I mean, again, they were going to make it a one-score game, and they're right there, but you just love the play. Boye Mafe, unsung hero in that moment.
Yep.
And Drake Thomas, I don't think he even saw the football until it was essentially in his hands.
Yeah.
So great play if you're at the right spot. If you're 5 yards behind him, you don't get there, so good play on him. And then the Hawks would march 89 yards on 6 plays, eating up 8 minutes off the clock. I believe it was 16 plays. But Jason Myers would miss another field goal, keeping it a 10-point deficit. But you just felt like the game was over at that point. The Seahawks essentially ate up the entire fourth quarter. You know, you talk about 4-minute drives when you run out the clock and hopefully win the game. That was almost a 10-minute run out the clock drive. So even though they didn't score in the red zone and Myers missed that field goal, it was still great to see, and you felt like the game was over at that point.
Yeah, I love that the defense went out there and wrapped it up too. In the last play of the game, the 4th down, they go man up. We're no stunts, no nothing. We're going to man you up. Our front four is going to get after you, and we're going to lock this thing out, man. It was a fun to watch. So the Hawks out the game, the Niners, 361 yards to 173. Outrushed them 180 to 53 yards, Nasser Kyobe. The Hawks won the time of possession, 37 minutes to 22. The Hawks had 23 first downs. The Niners had 9 first downs. This was a beatdown.
I mean, 180 to 53.
Yeah.
We've heard about the Seahawks running game all year long, and it's time to give some respect because they look very different the last couple weeks against that team. The Seahawks finished with the best point differential in the NFL, plus 191. For context, in 2013, the Seahawks were plus 186. Pretty much every year they've gone to the Super Bowl, they've had a point differential in that zone. The Seahawks finished the regular season having allowed the fewest points in the NFL, 292, finishing the year allowing 16.4 points per game. That is the first time they've led the league in that category. They did that back in 2015, actually 4 straight years, 2012 to 2015. So it's great. I mean, honestly, while we're just talking about what has happened through 17 games, this team has shown it week in and week out. They are very much playing at a high-level bump after this whole season, and specifically last Saturday night. What'd you learn?
One, they're playing their best football at the right time. We always hear that, right? Want to be playing your best football at the end of the year. I learned that they have figured out the formula to win ball games. If Sam doesn't turn the ball over, if the run game gets going, and this defense plays like the way they've been playing, I see them winning the Super Bowl. This is how you win football games. I also learned that this defense is playing at a whole different level right now. No one's touching this defense right now.
The fact what they can do, we're going to get into it in just a little bit, so I don't want to spoil it, but with their nickel defense, that's essentially base.
Yeah.
What they can do makes them scary. If you're an offensive coordinator, you're looking at like, do they have 11 guys on the field? It's not a penalty. It's like the Kevin Hart. Be like, wait, are they jumping me? Like,
right.
You know
Which one y'all hit me?
Right. That's what it feels like to play this Seahawks defense. There's people making plays all over the field. It's getting the playmakers.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
Playmakers.
Show them what time it is. Holy catfish!
Starting it off with Ken Walker, K9, 16 carries, 97 yards, averaged 6.1 yards a carry, 4 receptions, 36 yards as well. K9 finished the season was 1,027 yards, his second 1,000-yard season of his career. Big ups there. He also passed Chris Carson for 8th place on Seattle's all-time rushing list. And you mentioned Ken Walker, he's playing at a high level, man, and he's doing it without a high volume of carries, right? What we've seen from him in the last month, he's not getting 27 carries versus 400 yards. He's doing it every time under 20 carries. He's being explosive. The screen games are starting to work, so I'm loving what we're seeing from this running game.
Yeah, his partner in crime, Zach Charbonnet. It feels like they settled into their roles and who they are. You know what I mean? Charbonnet has 17 carries for 74 yards and 1 touchdown. But the 49ers, they're ready for Charbonnet to lower the shoulder and run all over people. But on Sunday, Zach was putting on the moves. He I don't know, a little jitterbug, man.
Wiggle,
he has some
you know
wiggles to him, man. It's fun to see. And it feels like you can see that Kubiak has settled into who they are, and it feels like they've accepted their role in this team. So, running game is popping right now.
Love it. When the running game's popping, that's definitely good for this team. That's what they talked about all offseason long. And then Jackson Smith-Njigba, Mr. Consistency. 6 receptions, 84 yards. JSN finishes the season leading the National Football League in yards, 1,793. Tied for the league lead in receptions with 119, both Seahawks records. Tied for 5th in the NFL in touchdowns with 10. Tied for the league lead in explosive plays. He has 27 plays of 20 yards or more. Man. Best season for Seahawks receiver in the history of the franchise as we celebrate the 50th season. That's saying something. When Steve Largent suited up in this uniform, JSN, I love what we're seeing from him. This is just the beginning.
Just getting started. A quiet 84, too. Still had some big catches,
Come on now.
Right? Quiet 84. Sam Darnold, 20 of 26, 1-98, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He took care of the football. He made some big throws. He hit Cooper Kupp a couple times on 3rd down. You got JSN as well. He performed great in a big-time game. Give him the credit that he deserves at this point. Yes, we still got more work to do, and I'm sure that's what they're saying downstairs, but Sam Darnold has gained even more of my trust.
Well, and he's obviously had it with the guys in this room, this building, anyone who's really put on the tape and watched it. I know on First Take this morning, I believe Stephen A. Smith and company. Still, I don't have any faith. I mean, love it. Yeah. That's great. That's what you want to see, and it's totally fine. I think Sam Darnold's totally fine with it because he's not worried about any of the outside noise outside of this building. So love what we're seeing from number 14, number 1 in our hearts. Then Derek Hall. Love to see him back on the field. 1 sack, 1 TFL, 3 quarterback hits. He plays the game with some fire. It was not cool. I was not a fan of the suspension. It was what it was, but he was back playing his thing, and Derek Hall just doing a good thing. Just playing well.
D Hall playing with that passion, too, man. The sound crew missed some things, so we got to hear a lot during the game.
Yes, we did.
And I heard D Hall talking that talk. Next up, Drake Thomas, man, 5 tackles. First interception of his career, 2 passes defended. This is a guy who wasn't even a starter at the beginning of the season, and now he's a staple. And they were trying to get a matchup on him when him and McCaffrey, and he took that inside leverage because look, I'm not going to get beat on this angle route. Took the inside leverage. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey runs out, and he wasn't going to score a touchdown if McCaffrey caught that football. Drake just going to work. Love what he's been doing this year. Obviously, I like that interception as well.
Yeah, no question about it. He showed up in Seattle as a special teams guy from the Raiders. No one really knew anything about him. He got hurt against the Ravens, I want to say, in his first year. Then was on the shelf, mainly special teams guy, and now he's a dominant starter on the best defense in football. So love what we're seeing from Drake. Jaron Reed, the OG, been doing it for a long time. 2 tackles, 1 sack, 1 TFL, 2 quarterback hits. He's really doing his thing. And then we'll both talk about this one. Nick Emanwari bump. 7 tackles, led the team. 1 TFL, 1 QB hit. This dude, listen up, everyone, for the people in the back.
Yep.
Should be Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Definitely.
I know the guy down there in Cleveland is doing his thing, linebacker. But what we're seeing from Nick Emanwari is different. 84 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, 11 passes defended, 1 interception. Only player in the NFL with at least 2.5 sacks and double-digit pass breakups, thanks John Boyle. And one of only 2 double-digit pass breakups and 8 tackles for loss. And again, he did all that despite missing 4 entire games, only played a couple snaps in week 1. And Bump, you've been on this for a very long time. I believe you said he was the most versatile player in the National Football League.
Yeah, he can play at all 3 levels. We've seen him walk down as a DN, if you want to call him that. We've seen him at the second level as a linebacker. We see him in the slot as a nickel. We've seen him over top as a safety. Whatever you want to do, this young man could do, man. The most versatile player in the NFL, and thankfully he's playing with a coach who knows exactly what to do with him.
Yeah, I mean, going back to draft night, we talked about this on the pregame show a while back, how excited this organization was that Emanwari was there and fell to them at the beginning of the second round because he paying dividends, and it'll be interesting to see where his career goes because he could be remembered as one of the best if he continues to stay healthy.
Yep.
And then, lastly, the defense as a whole, man. To hold the 49ers to 3 points coming into the game, having 37, 40, and 42, crazy stuff.
2 for 9 on third downs. This was the best team on third downs in the NFL until this Sunday. So they were 2 for 9 on thirds, 0 for 2 on fourth downs, 173 total yards. Held McCaffrey to 57 total yards on 14 touches. His fewest of the year. He was averaging 116 yards from scrimmage, like on some historic stuff, like 4th all time, and you kept him in check.
Yeah, anytime you do that with a guy like that, then George Kittle, 5 receptions, 29 yards. I'll save you guys the time, but if you go back and look through the box score over the last 8 games against the Seahawks, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey went off.
Yeah.
And so just for the Seahawks to do what they did to them, crazy. Dark side defense, it's a name. We know it. They're coming to play. Bum, what did you see from the offensive guys, wide receivers?
All right, wideouts, man. JSN had 6 for 84. K9 had 4 catches for 36. Cooper Kupp had 2 big catches for 29. Charbonnet had 3 catches for 23. AJ had 2 for 14. Saubert had 2 for 10. And Rashid had 1 for 2, spreading the love around.
Absolutely. Now, there's a lot of different plays we could have gone to for the plays of the game. This one was a tough choice, but we'll start on offense. Zach Charbonnet finds the end zone on 27-yard touchdown run.
Charbonnet in the backfield on 3rd down and 2. Darnold under center. Long count, turns, hands to Sharps. Finds some running room, bounces it outside left. Here he comes, 20, 15, cuts back inside 10, 5, touchdown, Seahawks! Zach Charbonnet from 27 out, his 12th rushing touchdown of the season, and now he's climbing the ranks along with somebody named Beast Mode for double-digit rushing touchdowns in a season. Blocked perfectly, and Sharps bounces it left for the 6.
This is just a zone right, which I call it zone right solid in my offense, because typically when you run the zone, you leave the back end unblocked, so you try to option him a little bit. Instead, you keep that back end blocked with AJ Barner. The box is filled, 8-9 guys in the box right now. You got like I said, AJ connected to the line of scrimmage to the left. You have Cooper Kupp who motions over. He's to the right side, so everyone is down blocking except AJ Barner. He's solid on the back side. We're gonna work left from right. You got Josh Jones, boom, washes his guy. All right, you have Zabel. Boom, watches his guy. You got the double team with Sundell and Bradford. Bradford does a good job getting on the double team, coming off and taking care of that backer who's trying to get up in the gap right there. And then you have one-on-one with Abe Lucas on the right side. Cooper Kupp taking care of his guy. This is about Zach Charbonnet and his feel of the zone. His job is to press the B gap, right? I think he gets the football and sees that backer trying to get up in that gap. Anthony Bradford takes care of him. So now you're looking for cutback. Boom, you get the cutback. And because Josh Jones did his job and washed his guy down there, his guy is no longer a factor. And then AJ, solid block on the backside. Now it's just who's faster. Now you got Zach Charbonnet to the races, and he gives him a little hezzy. All right, that DB wants no part of that shoulder that Zach Charbonnet will lower into his chest. So that hezzy slows him down. The DB tries to get his hands on him. This is why I do power cleans and leg press and all that good stuff. Run through the tackle, touchdown, Charbonnet setting the tone.
Yeah, I mean, when you draw up a run play like this is what you see. You want to score in every play. It looks great across the board. You mentioned every single offensive lineman doing their job. Zabel, what I love there, he gets a great initial block. His guy comes off it, but he got just enough of him to not allow his man to make the play. AJ Barner, you mentioned it, great play. But defensively for the 49ers, their safety has a good angle. They call it a little banana route. You're one high look. You're inside out. He has the angle on Charbonnet. He should make this play. And I'm sure that's what they're saying in the film room there. But you mentioned it. Zach Charbonnet is known for lowering his shoulder and running people over. And if I'm the safety, I don't want to get run over for a touchdown either. So you're thinking that. So you're bracing for impact, a little hezzy. He doesn't make the play, Zach Charbonnet, in the end zone for a touchdown. But I'm telling you, that was in the back of his mind because he had the angle. He should have made that play. And that little hezzy did just enough to freeze him there. Zach Charbonnet in the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Our next play we're going to look at, this was a big play on 4th down. The Seahawks get a stop. Big pass breakup by Tariq Woolen.
Still 4th down and 1. Play fake. Purdy looks. Purdy steps up. He throws to the near side. It's almost intercepted. As the rush finally got there, it's Jay Reed who gets to Purdy, forces the bad throw, and almost picked by Woolen on the near side. The Seahawks take over on 4th down and 1. 9:35 to play in the quarter.
This is that good old 13 personnel that we knew we were going to see with the 49ers. They want to pack you in and run the football, or at least make it look like it's a run. When we look at the sideline view, I ain't going to lie. They got J Love in a compromised position. It's essentially a 2-on-1. So you got to get pressure right here. And that's exactly what happens. The man who makes all this happen is the veteran that we got from Dallas. If you just watch this guy swim past the tight end, blow through the cut block, and get to the quarterback, he forces Brock Purdy to have to move. And also, you got Jay Reed who's getting after the quarterback. You got, who else is on there? Uchenna who's getting after the quarterback. You got, is that Mafe? Mafe getting after the quarterback. It's just chaos in the box. I don't know how else to describe this, but just chaos on the box, because if Purdy has time, he's got a 2-on-1 with J Love. You got George Kittle with the out, and you got your receiver on the outside with the go. J Love has to pick, but because there's chaos in the box, he has to throw the check down, and Reed doing exactly what he's supposed to do, stay in the flat, breaks to the football, trying to intercept it, and runs through the man. I love the intensity on this play.
Yeah, I mean, this is great. First of all, the pressure, which makes this play. But there's a couple good things in the secondary as well. J-Love looks like he's in essentially a deep half zone there. He's got Kittle and he's got Sky Moore to him. He's kind of vertical veering both, kind of splitting the difference. But he's looking at Purdy. If I'm looking at Sky Moore and George Kittle, I'm probably throwing the ball to George Kittle. Love does a great job. He takes away the first initial read from Purdy. And when that goes away, the pressure's already in Purdy's face right there. There's no way he's going to be able to see Sky Moore far on the outside. And I think J-Love took a little gamble there, and it paid off.
Right.
And because you mentioned it, the great pressure to Marcus Lawrence, everyone at a party in the backfield, Jay Reed.
Party.
They make Purdy have to check it down. And then Reek does a great job, too, because Reek has the flat on this play. He's looking to get some depth. He's looking at the quarterback's eyes, looking at Kittle. He sinks a little bit. But the second he sees Purdy commit, when Reek Rulon, honestly, he might be the fastest in the NFL. It might be between him and Spoon on this team. When they decide to go and they pull that trigger, he is gone. I mean, you watch the change of direction. He's downhill. We all jumped up. We thought this was going the other way, but I love what Reek is doing there. It's a big-time play on fourth down. All 11 on the defense playing as one. 12 as one, Mike McDonald likes to say. And you talked about Reek Rulon has gotten some heat this year, and he's been nothing but great this whole second half of the season playing within his game. And this is what I'm talking about. This defense is suffocating, relentless, shocking, through, not around. This Seahawks defense getting it done, Bump. I love what we're seeing. That sets us up for the favorite formation of all time, victory formation.
Here comes the Seahawks offense onto the field, and the Vikings defense trudging out there, knowing that one kneel down and the Seahawks are going to wind the clock down and win this one.
It's the victory formation on Hawk Talk.
Earned at every opportunity from phase one of the offseason, OTAs, training camp, throughout the season. I just said it, relentless, decisive, shocking, through, not around. This team embodies Coach McDonald. They're all as one, and this is what the Seahawks fans, everyone was hoping for when Coach McDonald was hired. This is what John Schneider and everybody wanted, was for games like that to show up in that moment, to not have Christian McCaffrey running down the sideline for 75 yards, to not have all these people throwing for all these kind of yards. This football team is together. They're playing like it. 3 phases of the game. I love what we've seen from them.
Yeah, man. We've been doing this for a while. You longer than me. How do you feel about this team?
This is my 10th season with the team. Before this, I worked with the Mariners, but I worked at Seattle Sports, so I was around the team when they won the Super Bowl. But this is the best team since then, and it's not close. All 3 phases of the game, how connected they are. It's not made up stuff, and that's why I was never worried about a letdown with this team. From the coaching staff to the guys in this locker room, there's never been we're looking past. No, the next game, this is a carryover from Pete Carroll, the next game is the biggest game. They play like it. They're just special because they have so many different ways they can win.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing it 9 years, and I will second that. Best team that I've covered for sure. The Hawks had to wait 17 weeks to get revenge on the Niners, but they did exactly that. Did it the best way, right? You win the NFC West, you clinch the number 1 seed, you got a first-round bye. The games are going to be out the house. It don't get much better than that, man. Who's got it better than us?
Nobody.
Let's go.
Listen, and the Seahawks could face the 49ers again, and we'd be ready for that matchup as well. The cool thing, though, is Seahawks fans, you get to put your feet up. You get to watch some great football this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday night as well. It's going to be fun, and the Seahawks will be ready for whoever is coming to Lumen Field, whether that's the Rams, whether that's the 49ers, whether it's the Packers. We don't know, but we'll be ready for it. We'll watch football just like you guys are this weekend.
Come on.
We'll see who the Seahawks are playing, and we'll be ready for that divisional matchup the following weekend. He's Michael Bumpus and Nasser Kyobe. The division champion Seattle Seahawks beat the 49ers. This has been Hawk Talk.